Hi, welcome to Adhvaitha, and in this short video we will know why science can never understand God, and we will look at the difference between science and religion, and we will get to an understanding as in why the way science is going right now, it can never grasp the subject of God. Now before we go into the subject, we need to understand what knowledge is, right? First, we need to understand what knowledge stands for and what knowledge actually means. And we need to also look at how can one get knowledge or how can one acquire knowledge. Now, knowledge can be understood in two ways. One, knowledge can be information. Second, knowledge can be awareness. So, we are aware of something and hence we have knowledge of that particular thing. Now let's look at how can one acquire knowledge. Generally there are two ways in which one acquires knowledge. One is pratyaksha, second is paroksha. Pratyaksha is empirical, it is direct perception. You look at a table, you look at a chair and your senses grasp it, you directly see it and you understand it. You get the knowledge of that chair or that table. So this is called pratyaksha anubhuti. The word anubhuti in Sanskrit stands for knowledge. So pratyaksha anubhuti is direct knowledge. Now the second is paroksha, which loosely translates to inference. Now we are broadly taking it as inference. The word inference literally means a conclusion reached on the basis of evidence and reasoning. So basically whatever conclusion you arrive at after some reasoning or by using an instrument or through various means of derivation, postulation, etc. All this we can put under inference here. So let's take an example. You are looking at an instrument in the lab and you gather some data from that instrument and then you analyze it, you reason it out and then you come to a conclusion, and because of that conclusion you acquire some knowledge. So this is inference. This is paroksha. So now we have covered pratyaksha and paroksha. Now if we look at modern science and how science is going about right now, the entire of science is mostly based on inference. Scientists come to different conclusions and different understanding based on different postulations, different derivations, different comparisons, different reasoning, observation, study. All of this is paroksha or inference. Now I have been studying the ancient text Aparoksha Anubhuti, which was written by Adi Shankaracharya, and it talks about something which is really eye-opening. In this text, Adi Shankaracharya tells that there is something which you cannot arrive at either through direct perception or through inference. So he is basically telling here that everything else in this existence and everything around us we can understand through direct perception and inference. That is through pratyaksha and paroksha. But there is one thing which we can never understand with these two methods, and that is God. If we have to realize God, these two methods are irrelevant and they are not useful, says Shankaracharya. He talks about Aparoksha Anubhuti, which is transcendental knowledge. And this transcendental knowledge can neither be realized through direct perception or indirect perception or inference. Of course, the text itself is very elaborate, but I am just trying to give you an overview here. In order to arrive at something called God or consciousness, we need to go deep within and observe our own experiences. The logic here is this: through direct perception and through inference, we can look at the world around and understand and grasp something which is outside of us. But in order to realize God, we need to go within. So the entire approach changes when we are trying to find God or consciousness. This is why science has not been so far able to explain the nature of consciousness. And this is why science can never arrive at God, because the entire approach has to be changed in order to realize God or in order to realize consciousness. Through the first two methods, we are looking at something that is outside. Whereas in order to gain that transcendental knowledge, we need to go deep within. So this is what the great Shankaracharya talks about in his text Aparoksha Anubhuti, which is a very great and a very complete text by itself, which describes the nature of consciousness. So with this text and with this teaching, we can come to a solid conclusion that science will never be able to explain the nature of consciousness, and it can never arrive at a subject called as God until it changes its entire approach itself. I hope you found this video interesting. For more such content, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.